Congratulations. What's up, beautiful people? This is Nate here.
It's Kev.
And yo, we are GamesMusicLyfe. So yo, we're back with a review today for this Daniel Ceasar project titled Freudian?
Freudian. Yes.
How'd you know the pronunciation?
Hey man.
This guy here. Yeah. All right, man. So what do we know about him going on? I know, only thing I knew, the single you sent me was the single on the album, the lead-in, to Get You, featuring Kali Uchis.
Yes.
That's the only one I knew.
Man, listen, I happened upon Daniel Ceasar, maybe like December of last year, just on a random YouTube search, man, looking for something dope, man. Ran across his stuff and thought he was pretty fire. So I've been waiting for this album for a while, man. I checked out the few little singles that he had dropped here and there. Okay. And yeah, I've been looking forward to it, man.
Another Canada dude.
Yeah, another Canadian dude.
I'm surprised Drake hasn't sung him yet.
Hey, man, he didn't want to end up in the tent. Hey, you know what I'm saying? He didn't want to end up in the tent.
Yeah, so I didn't, like I said, didn't know much about him going in other than what you sent me. I got a kick out of putting on that one song for people and let them listen to it, and then let them watch the video to see what he look like. You know, women, they gonna look at the music like, okay, what does he look like? Yeah, because his voice is beautiful. It is. And then when you see him, it's like, whoa. I wasn't expecting that. Hey, that could work to his favor though.
Hey, it could.
Ugly guys are winning. Oh wow, Travis is winning. Yeah, but anyways, I digress. So what do we know about the album? Didn't know much about it going in. I knew the project was coming. It kind of came out on the low though.
It did, but man, it got a major push. I'm not sure who he's working with or who he's teaming with, but man, like this kid, he went from like obscurity to like right in front of everybody's face. Like this is all I've been hearing anybody talk about, or anybody who knows. I've been hearing them talk about Daniel Ceasar. So he got a great push somehow, and he deserves it. He deserves it.
Is he a plant? He might be.
He might be a plant.
All right, but anyways, so getting to the album, man. So my thoughts on it. First off, I really enjoyed the album. I enjoyed dude's voice. I enjoyed the features he had on it. Yeah. One thing that stood out to me though was the features sound like he really let the features rock. Yeah. Like the song with her, it was like pretty much she did most of the singing, and he kind of came in and added a little bit more to it. My favorite track is Blessed on the album. I mean, that'll make you just close your eyes, get your life together. It's only 10 songs on the album, so it's hard to really pick out a favorite because all of them are really banging. His voice is very subtle at times, but the thing that got me though is like you listen to it and it sounds like it's a happy album, but it's really some sad lyrics in here. Yeah, they're trying to get his girl back to starting off the beginning of the lead track, like we talking about the lead single. He was shocked that he has her, maybe because he looked in the mirror. I don't know. I didn't say it. Listen, I don't know. But I'm just saying he talked about that, talked about love, talked about getting his girl back. And Blessed, like I said, was probably my favorite track on the album, but it definitely was rocking all the way through. I wasn't a fan of, I forget which song it was, but it was like it stopped in the middle, like a 2-minute.
I think it's that end track, Freudian.
Okay, so it was like 2 minutes of just ending. I thought the album was over. Then it came in with a little bit more vocals and kind of ended the album pretty well. But all in all, I really enjoyed the project, man. I thought it was a pretty decent album. It was his solo, his debut. Yeah, album. So we always say it is the album you're making your whole life. So, but for him to come out the way he did, like you say, he's getting more of a push. To me, I didn't really see the push. I kind of just thought it kind of came out on the low. I think he deserves more of a push. I think that this should get in front of people. So he didn't have any rap features on there. The features that he did have was other people that weren't really too like known acts. Yeah, but
with the exception of Sid.
Well, yeah, with the exception of Sid, of course. Yeah. And I like Sid on other people's projects too.
I do too.
I like her on other people's projects. She rocked it on there, man. But I gave it 85. Okay, so I really enjoyed the project. That was my take on it.
I feel it, man. Now with it having the tracks that we had already heard from Daniel Ceasar, I kind of came into this expecting a little bit more of an atmospheric vibe, and we didn't get that in my opinion. It really has a soul kind of gospel feel to it. Like you could tell he grew up probably singing in the church. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's just a lot of soul. You hear big choirs in the background, man. Everything's very understated. A lot of keys are driving a lot of these tracks on here, and his voice, though he doesn't project a whole lot on here, man, he makes sure to keep it very mellow and just very smooth and calm, which is something we haven't been getting in R&B lately. Yeah. I thought that was refreshing that he kind of took R&B back to a place that maybe I had been yearning for a little bit. Like we don't get these kind of artists anymore, or this kind of music isn't very popular
anymore. Though.
Exactly.
Like no vocoders, no nothing. Just let me hear your voice.
Flat out, just singing. Yeah. Just him and a piano, maybe a little bit of drum here and there, man. Some choirs to back him up. So I definitely thought that was refreshing. Mm-hmm. The one thing I will say on this album that kind of took me back was on the songwriting on here. He had tendency to kind of fall into rhyming patterns, which made some of the tracks or some of the lyrics kind of come off a little bit cliche.
Okay.
With R&B singers, the one luxury that they have over rappers, in my opinion at least, is that you don't have to rhyme all your bars.
Right,
you know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Like, you have a little bit of creative freedom that all your lines don't have to rhyme. And I felt like sometimes he maybe pushed the rhymes a little bit too much, where I wish that he would have let it just kind of breathe a little bit. But with it, that's a very minor complaint. I felt like 10 tracks was perfect for this.
Yeah.
Every track has its own feel, but the album all ties in together very well. I will say at points on here, he does sound a little bit like Frank Ocean Jr.
Okay.
And a little bit of John Legend.
Yes, a lot of John
yeah.
Legend. That's what I was going to say. I was waiting for you to get done because that's the part I had written down. I thought about was like, if you put this on, you would thought it was John Legend.
Yeah.
Like a young John Legend.
Listen, that We Find Love?
Yes.
That sounds like,
yes.
that definitely sounds like John Legend, which is, it's refreshing to hear an artist, you know, kind of coming out.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, not at all. I feel like it's great to hear somebody actually, you know, succeeding in that lane again, just because it's been going for some time.
Right.
With that, I really enjoyed the project, man. He didn't let me down here. I will say I do hope that on his next project, maybe he expands his sound a little bit. He does sound a lot like his contemporaries. Like a lot on here, he did find himself sounding like Frank Ocean
Absolutely.
Jr. a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hope the songwriting continues to get stronger. But overall, man, the kid is talented.
He is.
He is. And I think
He's young
that he
too,
is.
right?
I want to say he's in his early 20s, maybe 21, 22. So, yeah, very young. And I think this kid's got a bright future ahead of him making music. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing what he has to offer. I want to hear his sound grow and mature. With it, I actually read this album out as an 87. I feel like it's an easy listen. Anybody that likes R&B will really enjoy this project. It'll be a refreshing project for anybody to hear there. So with it, not too many gripes, man. A lot of praise on my end.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's what's up, man. I knew you was gonna like it. It sounded Sanfa-ish. You know, like we needed something like this, though.
Yeah.
You know?
See, I do wish that the songwriting got more dynamic, like a Sanfa, though.
That's the thing. That's what separated Sanfa from him is that they both have great, amazing voices, but Sanfa's pen is much better.
Yeah,
like he dug in.
It didn't sound personal on this album, though. The songs were well written. They didn't sound like they were really coming from his life. It just sounded like they were love songs.
Right.
And I hope that, you know, going forward, we do hear what sounds more like his actual life or what's going on with him.
Yeah.
Because I think he's got a story to tell. But, you know, when you're in your early 20s, man, it's hard to, you know, you got to live a little. So hopefully he'll do that. Just live a little and you know what I'm saying, give us something.
Absolutely. Get some
update.
under his belt, experience some things, and get a little bit more seasoned.
You know, always.
Come back and give us a bit more. But, we both liked it. But yeah, let us know what you guys think, man.
Yeah.
We're too high, too low. You know, any fans out there of Daniel Ceasar, you gave it a 99. You're right. Because it's an opinion. You guys are all right.
Everybody's right, man.
Everybody
wins.
This one, man. But I do think that if you are an R&B fan, get this album, man. And like, you know, Kev said he got the push. I didn't see it got too much of a push as much. Maybe I'm not in the same avenues. But if you haven't get in front of it, get in front of this project. I definitely suggest it for everybody.
Absolutely.
But yo, I'm Nate here.
It's Kev.
Yo, we GamesMusicLyfe, man. Drink more water, people.
Peace.
Peace.